Walk across a college campus. Stop and ask a student, a young man, a young woman, have you ever wanted a mentor? And a lot of them will say, oh yes. Some will say, I have one. David said that to me a moment ago. One of his professors is teaching him how to pray and giving him a vision for missions. A young man who's a dear friend, colleague with me in ministry, says, I've always wanted to have someone that could show me things about ministry that you could never learn in an academic setting. I want a mentor. Others have said, I don't know what a mentor is. Where does that come from? Well, Pam came talking to her pastor, wringing her handkerchief. She was dressed like she stepped out of a bandbox. She could have been a model in New York, but everything about her said, I'm a failure. Could you help me? I love my children. They're beautiful children. I read books on parenting. I do my best. And when the water's smooth, I think I'm a good mom. But when things get tough and my back gets pushed against the wall, I wind up reverting to the way my mother treated me, and my mother was a terrible mother. What's Pam asking for? I think she wants a mentor. And then, of course, there's a young minister that came to me a few years ago. He said, I want to be a gentle, caring pastor. I want to really make people feel good about themselves, help them to know what it's like to live in relationship with God, to be tender and encouraging, pay attention to people, listen well. But frankly, I never knew any preachers like that. As I grew up in church, I heard some loud guys that were arrogant, overdressed, dogmatic. After listening to them for 30 minutes, you never felt better about yourself. You only felt worse. You never felt they really listened to you. They talked down to me. How do I learn how to be the tender pastor that I want to be? I think he was asking for a mentor. Everywhere you turn, people are looking for mentors. There's a real reason for that. First of all, mentoring is as old as human history. Shows up first in Greek literature. Mentor, the very name, mentoring, comes from a man by the name of Mentor who took care of a warrior's children while the warrior went off to war. In other words, he was to show them what a father was to look like in the absence of their real father. Erik Erikson, one of the fathers of modern psychology in America, is the person that's most often accredited with the word mentor being used in the field of psychology. But actually it's become popularized every direction, in business, in law, in education, in ministry, in agriculture. Even airplane pilots have mentors. It's a very popular thing because people have built into their systems, into our very human DNA, the need to have some kind of role model that not only inspires us, but shows us how to live. This whole month to 6 weeks at Mentor Network website, our intense theme is going to be on mentoring. Of course, we'll always talk a lot about mentoring, but we want to especially focus on it now. We're going to leave opportunity for you to jump into conversations on our interactive website through the blogs and through the swap shop and other places, to actually interact with some people that are very, very experienced at mentoring. There'll be articles by various people about how to mentor, what value mentoring has. I'll try to share with you some of the things I've learned myself across the last 12 years of full-time mentoring Christian leaders. For the last 12 years, I've spent one full day a month for a year with groups of 10 to 12, 10 to 14 Christian leaders, and sometimes as many as 7 of those groups going on at one time. And I've witnessed firsthand what happens in the lives of people when someone just takes time to listen to them and just show them how to do some things that they really want to do. I'll try to share what I've learned with you, but we also want to hear from you. Some of you are excellent mentors. Tell stories about what you're doing. Jump into the conversation on our website and tell about mentors that have mentored you. Or help us get our hands on some good resources, persons, books, tapes, workshops. People everywhere need our conversation, need our help to learn how to be better mentors. I can say personally that if it had not been for especially 2 or 3, maybe 4 key persons in my life, I have no idea where I would have wound up. One of them was a high school teacher. She passed away about 1.5 years ago, over 90 years of age, and still interested in me like she was when she taught me math when I was in a junior and senior years in high school. She was a mentor to me. Then there were ministers that took me under their wing and mentored me, showed me how to preach, showed me how to treat my wife, showed me how to treat my children, showed me how to treat people that didn't know Jesus yet. I have no idea where I'd be without those people. And when I look back on the trail behind me, I'm delighted to see that even my feeble attempts just to listen and just to walk beside some key persons made enormous differences in their lives. I'm so grateful for the time that I invested in some of those people who are impacting far more people than I'll ever be able to impact, just through the simple act of mentoring, pulling up beside someone, listening to them, letting them walk with you as you live out a life of following Christ and serving people. Everybody needs a mentor. God knew that. He made us that way, and that's why He sent Jesus Christ into our world. He didn't just tell us what to do. Jesus came and showed us how to live, the ultimate mentor. I want to really encourage you to find a mentor and to be a mentor and to use all the tools that you can from Mentor Network website to increase your skills as a mentor and to share with other people what you've learned. Mentoring, God's way of changing lives.